Saturday morning, July 14th, Erica's birthday. Happy birthday, Babele. So, update on the updates. The new bars on the Fuji felt really good yesterday. I did a 70-mile ride, so that was a mission accomplished. I got little Charlie who's getting anxious for breakfast, and so we'll see how far I can get in this without him starting to bark. He's following me around the house looking at me like this, so there's a good chance he's going to start barking because he wants what he wants. You want something? Yeah, I thought so. So, update with Erica's bike. Got the motorized hub wheel installed last night with the tire and, running the cables and everything. The battery lives here in the back in this little case. And let's see, I put my coffee down real quick and get a quick shot of what the cable run looks like. Yeah, it's super dark. It's really heavy, so I'm not going to take the bike off the rack, but suffice it to say, cables run from this bag out here. You can see the relief against the floor. Run along the frame, and then the remote runs to the handlebar here, a little push button, as you can see. And then the actual power supply for the hub motor itself runs down the fork from the frame. And it's very, very cool. Let's see if this still has air in it. Good. The back one. Good. Charged up the battery last night after I took it for a little test drive, and I was very impressed with just how easy. It's more of a pedal assist than an out and out like motorized bicycle kind of feel, I guess. I tried to go up a hill that's right outside my house just from a dead stop, and it certainly didn't have enough torque to do that. I think I got, halfway up the hill or so, and then the motor just couldn't take me the rest of the way. But as a pedal assist, if you just start giving it a little bit of manual support, it's amazing how much of a breeze some of these hills become. So that's all installed, that's all tested and verified, and the whole system I'm very happy with. I think it's going to be a good present for Erica, something she might actually use in addition to some of the other practical things that I got her for her birthday. So that was a success, pretty happy with it. And so that project is also done, and the Fuji Altamira, that's in a completed state as well. No other adjustments need to be made to that, although I will have to change the fork back to the other bike when I get the SL repaired, which is my task for today, one of a few. Also, I added a Leatherman knife right here to the frame so that I could have access to pliers if and when I need to, and just zip tied it to the fork itself with a rubber sort of it's a piece of a tube just to cause a little bit of friction so that it wouldn't be sliding all over the place. Because when my SL exploded the other day, I didn't really have any way to easily get the master link off. If I had had some pliers, I could have easily squished off the master link and then taken the chain off so that I wouldn't have had to worry about the chain potentially still going into the wheel when I zip tied it to the chain stay. But live and learn. So those two bikes are completed. For today's tasks, I'm wanting to go for a 45-mile bike ride. I want to fix the SL, and I want to do yard work. And I have a few errands to do while I'm out as well. A little eggy. Got that leg stretch going on. So I've got a few things today. Probably at least 8 hours worth of work that I want to and need to do before I go to sleep. Went out last night with Erica's family. We didn't get back till about 10:30, and I fixed up Erica's bike and did a few tests with that, but I wasn't able to do much more than that. I was exhausted from the night before, not getting enough sleep. Hey, little Eggy, you want some food too? Want a sip of coffee? But yeah, yesterday I also went to Loose Nuts and got the headsets or crown races switched out on Erica's fork. But anyway, So this is the current state of the SL. It's got the Altamira fork on it currently with the Altamira wheel, just to hold all that shit together, so I didn't have to worry about like keeping track of all these headset spacers or the bearings or anything like that. Since they're compatible, it's a good place to put it while I work on it. So for this, I'm going to need to unwrap these bars. Since it's going to be a 1x now, I need to take out the gear cable, and I can actually save this barrel adjuster, and I can put it onto the rear derailleur barrel adjuster, and I could actually have 3 inline barrel adjusters, which I think I will definitely do for the rear derailleur, because this Deore rear derailleur doesn't have a barrel adjuster at the end of it. I don't know why they do that for mountain bike stuff. I know when you have mountain bike shifters, the barrel adjusters are typically here at the actual shifter itself, which is good. I mean, you definitely on the fly would want to have a barrel adjuster close to your fingers that you can twist, but I don't understand why you wouldn't also put one in the back of the derailleur, because, you know, with these road bikes, with my rear derailleur that I had, you know, it was a standard rear derailleur, so it was a Tiagra, and it had a barrel adjuster here, and I also had a barrel adjuster up here. Now, Shimano obviously doesn't account for what inline barrel adjusters I have, but I don't understand why you wouldn't want to have a little bit more customizability with your derailleurs. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, so I went to Performance the other day. I don't remember if I already went over some of these things, but I've got the 11-speed or the 10-speed chain from the Deore setup. I've got my old bits and bobs from my derailleur hanger. Got some cables from Performance, Shimano made. Got some end caps. And, okay, so I bought a new derailleur hanger from Performance on Thursday. And I also remembered what happened to my spare that I thought I had, and the spare that I couldn't find. Back in the winter, I was biking home one day, and it was cold and like misty or something outside, and I went across some train tracks, and as soon as I did that, I pretty much lost control of the bike immediately. I think like instantly the wheels went out from underneath me, and the bike fell, and I broke the hanger, and I had completely forgotten about that. And so this is actually going to be my third derailleur hanger that I put on this bike. So I don't know if that's a testament to the fragility of this specific hanger or what it might be, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I've broken it that many times. And I'm also kind of surprised that I completely forgot that that had happened, because I seriously thought, you know, I don't lose things very often. I'm pretty well organized, and definitely keep things in order. So for me to misplace something is pretty rare, and definitely distressing when it happens, because I just can't account for something being missing, because that's just not part of my personality. So this is one of the projects for today. I already got the chainring on. I'll need to figure out the derailleur. I'll have to do some stuff with the cabling. Well, might have to recable. This will be like the 4th time I have to put a new gear cable in it potentially, because I'm not sure if this one is going to be long enough for the situation. Plus, this whole fucking the internal routing is such a pain in the ass. In order to get more barrel adjusters on here, I'm going to have to take the cable out, and then I'm going to have to re-thread it through, which means I'm going to have to take out the bottom bracket and the crank and all that stuff, and fish it out with my little magnet tool, and use my picks to grab it. This is a fucking process. Something I would never be able to do in the field. So that's another flaw of this bike. You know, somewhere between the Altamira and the SL, there is a perfect bike. And I think, honestly, I think the Altamira is closer to that perfect incarnation than the SL is, but you know, I guess maybe we will one day achieve perfection. But so far, none of the configurations of my bike is like a perfect build. You know, some are too heavy, even though they have everything that I would want, like an external routing and super low gears. Others aren't don't have discs. I did actually get rid of that mountain bike frame. It conveniently fit quite well in my recycle bin. And I also got rid of my old plug charge frame, which is also now currently residing in the recycling bin. Both those frames are aluminum, so basically, essentially, they're just big Coke cans. So I was like, well, there's no reason this can't be recycled. Another thing I'm going to have to do, take a look at, is this rear wheel, because it's definitely out of true now. I'm going to have to assess whether or not I need to replace the spokes that are bent. I do have an assortment of spokes that I got for my New York trip, which I'm going to assume may fit this bike. And honestly, if I don't think it's worth truing a fucking bent ass spoke. So I'll go ahead and get out my spoke sets. Front Fuji spokes. I should have rear spokes as well. Let's check that real quick. They might all just be intermingled at this point. I think I've got some spokes in here too. Alright, good. Looks like I migrated all my spokes to that one central location. So, yeah, it looks like let's just take a quick visual inspection of all these spokes. It's not bent, 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 not bent. Ooh, bent. So let's go ahead and put this phone down for just a moment. I don't know what orientation. Let's try it like this. Alright. I want to quickly kind of mark this spoke as being fucked so I don't have to forget. Put a little bit of tape on it. So this spoke is bent. And let's see. Is this an angle that is like usable at all? Can't really tell. I think that might be. Okay. This is a hilarious setup. What can I use? Let's use this little hammer thing. Super professional. Alright. So, resuming. Locate this. Alright. Not bent. Not bent. Not bent. Not bent. Alright, so other side of the wheel now. Not bent. A little chewed up, but overall seems to be acceptable. I bought this, this came as a wheel set. These are butted spokes, maybe. Double butted, it looks like. I bought this wheel set pretty recently. This one looks okay. So it's sort of a shame that it's already been mangled a little bit. It was super true when I first got it. Just one spoke, it looks like, and that's definitely worth replacing. I don't want to try to true a wheel. It's got a spoke that's that fucked up. It's got a kink in it right up there. I'm guessing that's probably the point at which it's out of true. It's not even really. It's somewhere else. Front and back through axle wheel set for like $300. I can't use the front wheel, unfortunately. The SL setup I have right now is a quick release in the front. It's weird that it's not like, well, I guess it's just, well, let's see, what does that look like? It curves, bang. It's like right at the valve. Interesting. I guess if that's, it's actually relatively true, except for where that spoke that I mentioned being mangled is mangled. So I should probably replace that one as well. Yeah, it's definitely bent. So another piece of tape on this one. So as long as those spokes, I can find a similar replacement in the spokes that I have, then I would much rather just change that out. Just taking a quick look. Yeah. Alright. Go ahead and take all the air out of this. While we have the tire in this configuration, might as well dust off the top and just take a look at the integrity of the tread. When my wheel locked up, it definitely skid across the street with like a lot of weight on it, a lot more weight than usual. So I want to check to see if it seems to have like a bald spot on it or anything, and also see if it's got some road debris in there. This is a good application of these little picks. It's super easy to get shit out of your tire. So we can nice. We can try to one-handedly still got a little bit of life in these dimples. It's good. I'm not seeing any obvious bald spots. I did shift my weight. Well, that looks like actually right here. This looks like is probably where the wheel locked up. These tires don't have too much more life in them, that's for sure. I've already rotated them once, and they probably have close to, I don't even know how many miles. Definitely over 1,000. So nothing egregious in here, nothing that needs to be picked out, but that's another task for the day. Replace those two spokes that I've notated here, and then true up the wheel a little bit. It looks like it's just this one, but I wonder if for good measure I should just replace both. If I have, it doesn't, well, that's right where, so if it was pulled over a little bit more. That's pretty gnarly. I think it's just the one, really, but I'll have to take the cassette off. Yeah, it's a whole process. Go ahead and take the air out of the tire, which Charlie's not going to like. Alright. If I have enough spokes, it seems like I should just replace both. So, I'll go ahead and put some tape on this spoke as well. And then I'll start getting to all these things, because there's work to do. And I woke up a little bit late today. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's 9:49. Which can't really be seen. The glare. There we go. So yeah, let's get to work. We'll have more updates as they become available, but hopefully my main bike goal for today is to have this bike put back together and rideable. Certainly by the end of the day tomorrow, and if possible by the end of tonight. So we'll see how possible that is. All these little repairs and adjustments, they take time, because there's always something that comes up that you didn't anticipate or expect. But I got two babies who are pining for food now. They're searching around for whatever they can find. Charlie already found a piece of plastic he was chewing on earlier, so you know he's getting desperate when he's resorting to non-food as food. So I'm going to go ahead and feed these babies, and I will get back to you, which I guess is me, later.